Brent, good to see you. Today we are talking about the three big medical costs that retirees often underestimate. Wall Street Journal recently put out an article spotlighting these three costs. Number one on that list was medications.
Yeah, so typically for this conversation, we'll stick with like Medicare medications. So once you turn
Mhm.
65 and get on Medicare, you're going to get a Part D plan, which is for your drugs. And so a lot of people think, oh, I made it to Medicare, my cost should be very, very reasonable. Medications can add up and very quickly. Some of the bigger ones I've seen lately are things like Wegovy, Ozempic,
Mhm.
and Mounjaro. Those are very popular medications, and they can be a couple $100 a month.
Mhm.
And so it's very important to realize that you're going to have some expenses with medications either now or down the road as you age. But I do want to highlight a big benefit. In 2025 and forward, medication costs are capped at $2,000
Mhm.
annually. So you may hit that maximum, but at least we know when the pain's going to stop.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. Next, we have what the Wall Street Journal is calling medical isolation, higher costs in areas with limited healthcare access.
Yeah, so not everybody has, the massive hospital networks in their area. And
Right.
so I think probably people don't understand that one, if there's less areas to go to, the costs are generally going to be higher. And I also have a phenomenal example of the travel. So I've got a client whose father lives in Montana. He's too old to drive. He needs shots in his eyes, and it is an hour and 45-minute drive to get him to where he needs to go. And so, one, he's got to pay probably a higher amount because the services are limited. And two, he has to find somebody who's willing to drive him an hour and 45 minutes one way. And so
Yeah.
that is an additional cost that he incurs that, like, maybe you and I living in bigger areas wouldn't even have to think about.
All right, next we have concierge care. In some areas with large affluent retiree populations, doctors are increasingly turning away patients on Medicare and accepting new patients only if they pay that annual fee for concierge medicine. And that fee averages about $3,500 a year.
Yeah, extremely expensive. So Medicare is the largest single payer in our country, and so it's very widely accepted. But a lot of doctors are getting tired of having to deal with all the things that go and
Yeah.
getting reimbursed, and then the control of what they can charge. So what they're doing is they're saying Medicare, we won't even accept it. If you want to be
Hmm.
part of this club, you got to pay a fee. Now, it's
Hmm.
something that I'm sure is like a huge thing in Florida, but in Ohio, even Central Ohio specifically, we are seeing more and more of this. I've got a
Hmm.
couple clients who are doing that. They know they're paying more than they would if they just use Medicare doctors, but they like the service. And so you have
Hmm.
to have a plan to pay for that if you want to utilize a service like that.
Absolutely. And because you've been doing this for a while, you believe that the Wall Street Journal left a medical expense off this list, and you think that dental should be added to it.
Absolutely. So essentially, when a client gets to Medicare, I sit down with them and I say, hey, this is one of the worlds of retirement. It's got to be handled. You need A, you need B. We know what our cost is going to be. You need a Medicare supplement. We know what our cost is going to be. Part D, it's capped at $2,000. We can control all those costs. What we can't control is dental. I have clients who are regularly spending thousands of dollars because they need this dental work done. They no longer have an employer dental plan. So there are some options to lower the cost, but full transparency, it's going to be a cost for almost every client I have.
Mhm. Mhm.
So instead of just acting like it's not going to show up, it's better to plan for it. So I always
Yeah,
tell folks,
exactly.
if you've got an advisor who's only talking about investments, they are not giving you the comprehensive service you need because you have to be ready for some of this stuff when it shows up. So I
Right.
would I would argue that they missed and it should have been four things instead of three.
I will let the Wall Street Journal know.
Thank
Of
you.
course, though, it comes down to the bottom line, right? Healthcare in retirement is not just about insurance. It all comes down to planning.
Correct. And everything seems to circle around that. That's because it's so
Yeah.
important. So
Yeah.
having a plan that instead of, oh my gosh, Brent, you'll never believe what they told me they're going to charge, where, yeah, Brent, you told me we were going to run into this. I'm so glad we did X, Y, Z. So we're ready to handle this.
Hmm. Well, Brent, if somebody would like to sit down with you to make sure that all of these wildcard costs are incorporated into their retirement plan, their income plan, what's the best way to reach you?
Sure. young-wm.com, or you can call the office 614-430-8383. You will get Megan. She will do a phenomenal job. She'll get you on the calendar with Kim or myself.
Great. Brent, thank you.
Thank you.